Our country is built on an idea. It's an idea so powerful that some of us have died to protect it. It shapes our connection, our politics. It forms the fabric of our daily lives. And it seems so fundamental we rarely pause to consider its significance. But here's the thing. This notion is entirely uncrafted. And although it feels like it's getting stronger and it's always going to be here, the truth is, it's becoming more fragile than we realize. This concept is a community. It's built when people with shared interests, value and goals come together, interact regularly, support each other, and work towards a common objective, creating a sense of belonging within the group. That's called a community. You are not just a person who happens to live in Manchester. You are Mancunian, or Londoner, or Brummy, or Scouse. With what our leaders are doing, we are slowly losing this community. So let's stop for a moment to learn why this idea has existed forever and how it got us here. Because once you do, it makes sense why we should keep this concept alive. So help me build this community.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriot, truth seekers, digital warriors, welcome back to the show. They tried to silence us, they tried to shadow ban us, they tried to cancel us, but they forgot one thing, that we're not gonna back down. We're not gonna back down. Patriot, this is your time. I'm calling for you to arm up with flags. I'm calling for you to, wherever you go to focus. You know, there's a corner in your house where you go and do important stuff, and you listen. Maybe you're trying to figure out your finances. You want your total focus, gravity to keep you grounded. Found that place, cause today I'm back. I mean, yeah, they didn't want this day. I mean, maybe they might shut us down while we're live, but guess what? I'm gonna be here with you, so no problem. Now it's 8 days or maybe 9 days into the Great Awakening, where we all gonna be in London, marching together, sending the voice. September 13th will be the epicenter of defiance, of total resistance. And I don't know if you know about the campaign that I'm launching, where my team and I are going to London, where we're gonna be broadcasting live. Strong signal we're going to be sending to you. Hopefully the channel's still here. Hopefully by then we still have the channel, we still have the password, hopefully. But hey, you can't really make that much promises here in this technocrat machine, because they can easily just block you out like they're doing to us, like they've been doing to us. But we're not going to slow down. We're going to keep doing. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit rusty today. I have to put it out there. But we got a lot of news to cover. I don't know. Some of you guys commented saying, hey Barak, you're wasting a lot of time buying all these newspapers. But I just can't help it. Some of these are useful. Like this one. Don't you love it? When they start telling the truth. The 1 out, 1 in deal turned out to be 3,567 in, 0 out. Yeah, so it's important to buy these as well, so you can counter narrative and shut down the biases. But we have a lot of stories to tell. We have a lot of stories. I got a lot of things to cover here. Again, I said I'm gonna be a little bit rusty today because I've not been live with you guys for a very long time. So please be nice to me in the comments. I might be a little bit cool. So what we covering? Rachel Reeve, Angela Rayner, Keir Starmer, Bridget Phillip, all those big guys in the cabinet ministers. I think they're all scared because their time is come. And I think Keir Starmer he's also being scared because he knows his time is coming. The longer he's trying to hold this power keg from exploding, the bigger and the more explosive it gets. And they know it's their time to go. Angela Rayner, a tax evader. I'm sorry. This is the time to go. And the media knows. The media knows. The media knows she has to go. Look at this. Which media? Which one is this? This is the Daily Mail. Look at this. Is Keir Starmer spineless that he won't sack the Deputy Prime Minister? The media knows. They also know she has to go. And all of them are probably biting their fingers, biting their nails, thinking, maybe my time is coming soon. But she knows she has to go. And of course, we have the BBC, the Sky News. They're trying to protect her. They're trying to they're doing basically every single thing they can to keep bringing in balance. Because there's a lot of people on this side screaming she has to go. So the media are obviously, of course, not Daily Mail, but the other media like the BBC are basically trying to hijack this, what she did wrong, and make it seem like, oh, it's her son, please forgive her. Her son's disabled, please, how could you cry for her to be sacked? Her son it's the son's fault. Why are we even talking about this? Is the son? No, you used your son. You used your son disabled compensation to buy yourself a new house. I'm sorry, you and the son have to go. Maybe I'm getting too passionate. YouTube hates that. Hey, we know that. When I get too passionate, they strip everything away from me and basically give me 2 views per video. So I'm not gonna get too passionate, because when I do, this is, we are here now. So yeah, the Great Awakening. 8 days left until the big message. Make sure you grab your flag. Grab as many as you can. London, September 13th. I'll be there with my team. We'll be broadcasting live on here, the Baraka Show. Now, we're going to be covering Angela Rayner. We're going to be covering Nigel Farage. Comparing the UK to North Korea. I wouldn't disagree. And we got another one where Nigel Farage basically being destroyed, in the sense of the clip that I'm going to show you. But it's not about him being destroyed. It's just about the left in United States. They don't understand how in trouble we are. So they try to just basically tell Nigel Farage to shut up about wanting Great Britain to become great again. So I want to show you that clip. It's huge. I mean, for me, I couldn't understand it, but I want to play that as well. Tony Blair is back in the scene, and his best friend Keir Starmer is pulling the string for him. Basically, is doing the dirty job for him. What's the job? Yeah, apparently everybody has to go digital now. Digital ID everywhere. Why? Because why digital ID? I mean, I have to look. Because they are failing to get people out. They are failing to stop illegal migration. So guess what? Digital ID for everybody. And Tony Blair has the best way to explain it to you why we should all go digital. Why we should all have our face in the phone. Why we should never walk around with our wallet. Do I even have mine? This is the problem here. I just been to the shop to get this drink, and I didn't even have my wallet. Guess what? Maybe we already digital. They could have just stopped me from buying this water. Hey, Barack, this is the 5th one today. We can't let you have that. So they want total control. They want your ID in their system, and the reason why is because illegal migration, and they want. It's so silly. And then we're gonna talk about Ireland. My friends from Ireland, guys, I'll never forget you guys. Ireland. I mean, the first ever video that blew up on this channel was about Ireland. I mean, I've never been myself. I spoke to a lot of Irish people, but I have a lot of respect for you guys. So I always want to cover your news, because I know the world has probably forgotten you, because you guys are like a tiny island, maybe 5-7. It used to be 5 million population, but now I think it's probably reaching to 7 million population. Yeah, we know why. So I want to cover you guys, because there's a guy out there who's, how do I describe this individual? I mean, there's a guy out there who says enough of entertaining. He's been entertaining people for a very long time, and the way he entertains people, he goes out there and punching people, and he wins the award. He goes by the name of Conor McGregor, and he's like, nah, I don't want to entertain people anymore. I don't want to fight for nothing, for money. No, I want to fight for the country. So he's diving head first against the elites in Ireland, and I want to show you that video. It's flipping, it's just, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So I'm sure the Irish people have somebody to bet on now. They didn't have anybody apart from the champagne socialists who was selling their country to whoever was not even knocking at the door, whoever was coming in. So Ireland, the Irish people have somebody to bet on. But enough of the talking. Let's get straight into the news. And before we get into the news, guys, I need help. I really do. I really do need your help. So let's play this advert for a quick. Just a quick pause, guys. I need your help. We need your help. Because this machine have tried everything. They've deplatformed us once. They've shadow banned us, as you can see from the views. Blacklisted us, and the channel remains demonetized. You wanna know why? Because we report on something that they don't want you to know. But guess what? We still here. We still standing, broadcasting raw, unfiltered truth right through the technocrat machine that they want you to live in. They want your system. They want everybody to live in this machine, so then they can surveil and control and see what you're saying, see what you're not saying. But we resist that. But I have to be honest with you, yeah, we are running a little bit thin, and we need your help to keep this channel alive, because the bills, they can't pay themselves, as we already know it. The system, the server, the little crew that we got, the little studio that we have right now, it's all powered by you. All the donation that we get, it keeps this alive. This keeps the crew alive. And yes, I get it. They want to silence us. They want to shut down the show. Because, yeah, it's the last firewall between you and the psychological warfare that they call news. Because we tell the truth. We don't control the news. We give it to you raw, and you make your own decision with it. But here's the good news though, because there's many of us than them, because we got a lot of freedom loving warriors here listening to us like you. So I'm asking you, every listener who can chip in a few quid a month or once, not only gonna make us survive, but expand the team and expand the mission. So I'm asking you to keep us on air, keep the mission alive, and keep this voice unchained. Not just my voice, many other people who are asking for help too. So if you're able to, if you can, go to the link in the description, the first link in the description, just leave something, leave a donation. It could be 50p, it could be £50, 500, it could be anything. We appreciate it. And I want you to know this is not charity, this is a resistance. We're not here to beg, we're here to fight, as you already been seeing us fight. But with your help, we win, and we always win, always. Let's get back into the video. So yeah, let's get back into the video. I kind of messed up there, I clicked the wrong button. Technology, guys, sorry. I'm also old in this technology, so I don't know as much too. I'm trying to play around with it. So first of all, let's cover Angela Rayner. Angela Rayner, oh my god, how do we start this? So first one, so where is that? Right here. Is Keir Starmer's host finalist that it won't fire or sack his deputy prime minister? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Now, of course, she went on to this this BBC, I think it was BBC, where she went to try explain to herself, like, oh, why have you, I think it's Sky News, she's trying to explain to herself why she feels bad, why she feels sad, why she had to invade tax and avoid and run away, and you have to see the questions that she was thrown at her. I mean, for somebody who just evade tax, I mean, if you were to do that, let's just say you just happen to run a business and you're like, oh, I made a lot of money this year. And you look how much you gotta pay and you're like, leave that. I'm gonna keep 40k. I'm just gonna keep it to myself. Or maybe I'm gonna buy another house. Or whatever. Alright. You know what would happen to you? you know what would happen, right? No matter how many disabled children you have, no matter how many like wives you have, no matter how sad you feel, when the media approach you, they're gonna go rough. They're gonna make sure you feel the pain. Yeah, they do. But when it comes to their maybe friends, because I'm sure they go to the same club. When they comes to their friends and they interviewing each other, it's like, how sad do you feel? Do you feel like you had to like, quit job because you didn't want to talk about your child? I mean, could you? Here's the interview, folks. I mean, I'm not even lying to you. Somebody dodge to pay 40K in stamp duty, and the media is asking questions like, how do you feel? Yeah, it's insane. Watch this.
Deputy Prime Minister, you've been accused of dodging a £40,000 tax bill on your new home on the South Coast. You said it was your main home, while also claiming your constituency home in Ashton was your main home for other purposes. Do you just want to clear this up? What's going on?
Yeah, first of all, Beth, it's been quite a distressing time for my family. I have a court order that was in place around confidentiality regarding my son, my family and my divorce proceedings that happened in 2023, and therefore wasn't able to give a full account of the circumstances of our complex living arrangements. That order was lifted last night. I applied to have that order lifted so that I could give people the information. In 2020, my son had an award, and a trust was set up by the court to deal with his finances as part of that award with a legal trustee. And in 2023, when me and my husband divorced, the decision was, because that home was adapted to support my son who has lifelong disabilities as a result of that injury that occurred to him, that trust was set up, and they decided that they would take on the property so that me and my husband could have a nesting arrangement where we could provide for my child in our family home, which is our family home and remains our family home. So when I'm looking after the children, I go back to the family home, and then when my ex-husband is looking after children, he does, and it was done primarily to support my son with his additional needs and to provide stability for them during the divorce. And that was the arrangement that we put in place. I then went to purchase, took my life savings basically out of the property, the 25% that I still owned within the property, took that money out so that I could purchase with a mortgage the place in Hove. And I took, advice on that, and I relied on that legal advice that I received that said that I was liable to pay the standard stamp duty. Subsequently to that, with all of the media reports that have been coming out, I took expert counsel advice on all of my affairs to ensure that everything was done proper. And that expert counsel said that the advice that I received was inaccurate because of the trust. I don't own the property. That is true. I only own one property that is mortgaged, like most people. But because of the nature of the trust that was set up by the court, that I would be liable to pay the additional stamp duty. As soon as I knew that that was the case, I have alerted and referred myself to the independent advisor on the ministerial code to ensure that they can look transparently at what's happened, and also contacted HMRC to say that there is additional tax owing on this, and that I'm prepared to pay that and fully comply with the HMRC as well.
So, let's talk about the questions. Did you feel like you had to, the son stuff? You see, there's a problem here. You dodged to pay tax. If I was to do that, I'll probably be in jail. I don't know how many years, but yeah, I'll probably be in jail the same year. All right. Nobody's gonna ask me about how my leg feels. Nobody's gonna ask me how I feel. Nobody's gonna ask me if I have somebody who's disabled in my family. No. But with the media, because they know this person is theirs, they know this person is doing their work. The reason why all these guys still exist and still have all these amount of money to still broadcast live, heavy, with big machines, and be able to capture the airwaves and literally seize it just to themselves, it's because these politicians work with them. Softball questions, they get more airtime, meaning the interview is exclusive on their platform. So they have to ask soft questions because they know, hey, if we ask tough questions, we might not have her here again. We all understand, or maybe I'm just learning a little bit on this, being in this broadcasting system, business. But let's look at the other media who are not being funded by, who are not being getting airtime from the, like the news out there who are actually telling the truth. Cool. Angela Rayner fights for her political life. Ethics probe could seal her fate within days. So something could happen in the next few days. As it emerged, she used some of her disabled son NHS compensation to buy her second home. And look, she claimed that she was living on paycheck to paycheck. Really? Okay. All right. Angela Rayner was living paycheck to paycheck. That's why she had to use her son compensation. Really? I mean, you are buying your third home. Because this is how many houses she has. This lady has a house in Greater Manchester, not far from me, by the way. And breaking news right now, her house in Manchester was vandalized. I mean, not good, guys. Don't do that. Whoever's watching, please, if you're thinking that was a cool idea, don't do it. So she has a house in Manchester. It's valued at £650,000 in 2025. That's how much that house is valued. Okay. She has another house in central London. We don't know the cost of that, and we don't know the value of that. And she bought another house recently in 2025. And we just find out that she dodged 40k in tax. And she's here to tell us that she was living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, really? Which other guy has free house? Living paycheck to paycheck. I barely have a house. Man, I have to grind just to make sure I'm here next month. I have to grind just to make sure I'll be here next month. Because if I'm late for 3 months, oh God, I'll be out there in the street. But no, Angela Rayner can get a free house. And then she can go to the media and be giving softball questions like, how do you feel? And then she can be like, I was living paycheck to paycheck. My son's disabled. I mean, what the heck? And then when you think there's going to be somebody who's going to use this situation to put so much pressure so she can resign. We got Kemi Bednock throwing softball. I mean, being so soft. I mean, the only thing that she said is that Starmer is too weak to kick her out. That is... Kemi Bednock, look, auntie, look. That is weak from you. I was expecting better. I was expecting you to go... I don't know, I was expecting you to be a monster in there. Because you had so much talking points. I mean, in 2023, Angela Rayner was talking about how important it is. Ethics, standards. She was talking on a high horse. She's telling the public oh, it's important to be so ethical, to make sure the standards are so high, to make sure the public are believing the governments. That's what she was saying. Now she's out there lying and cheating, and somehow Kemi Bednock just throws a little softball touch on it and be like, Keir Starmer is very weak on sacking her. Really, auntie? That's all you had? I could do a better job. Because in 2023, do you remember Nadim? I think Nadim, she went hard on that person because that person also avoided taxes, and she was calling that person to be fired from the government, and she just done exactly the same thing. And somehow she gets to walk free. Really? That's insane. I want to show you cut 2. Talk about hypocrisy. This is one being caught in 4K. Live on your digital device, and somehow Kemi Bednar couldn't use this situation to put more pressure. I believe she still has more chances to put pressure on her. But hey, the first day you gotta go hard. You don't wait for the second time. She might not turn up in Parliament. She might say she's sick. I mean, come on.
Holding any position in public life should mean upholding the highest standards of ethics and integrity. But the cronyism, sleaze and scandal we've seen over the past decade has undermined trust in politics and public life at home and abroad. Misconduct and sleaze has a direct impact on a government's ability to deliver for the public. Transparent and accountable government is key to delivery. Cleaning up politics is about ensuring government actually delivers for the people. Holding any position in public life.
All right. Holding any position in public life should mean high standards, integrity, blah. Okay. All right. All right. Politics. I heard this from one person that told me that being in politics, you have to be good at lying. That's why you'll be good in politics if you're good at lying. I'd believe that a little bit, but I also don't believe it, because I feel like you can actually be a cool person with integrity and like with a backbone and still win in politics. But now I'm slowly believing it, because a lot of these politicians just lie. Like, they just lie. And I'm thanking God that the fact that we still have their old videos where we can play and be like, look, this is you. Soon they'll be claiming that was AI. Because they'll be like, oh, I've never said that. Integrity is my last name. Silly. Now, in 2023, she called for the same person, of course, for the same person to be sacked. Well, not one person dodged tax. And she claimed she was calling that person to be sacked in 2023 for doing exactly the same thing that she just done. I want you to watch this.
Every pound of tax that's not delivered to the Chancellor and to the Exchequer means that it damages our public services, and we know the state they're in. So the former Chancellor, when he was Chancellor last summer, made it clear at the time when he was questioned that he pays all his taxes and that he's done everything appropriately, and was threatening legal letters to anyone that questioned him. Now it emerged actually that that's not true, and that there was a HMRC investigation and that he's had to pay penalties for that. I think that makes his position untenable.
Yeah, that's her. She was calling for the Exchequer to be sacked. Nadeem, she was calling for her to be sacked. So let me read here. In 2023, Mrs. Rayner called for the Tory cabinet minister Nadeem Zahawi to be sacked over unpaid tax. That is the same person who was just avoid paying tax today. What should we do with her? Should we sack her as well? Should we do it? Please, comments, guys, what do you think in the comments? Should we do the same thing, or should I read the same? All right. In 2023, Mrs. Rayner called for the Tory cabinet minister Nadeem to be sacked over unpaid tax. All right, she's done the same thing. What should we do with her? I'm waiting for the comments to come in. What should we do with her? Should we sack her? Or should we just ask her about how sad she feels? The fact that she owns 3 homes now and she avoid paying taxes and she's still in government. And she has the whole mighty ground to come here and talk about integrity, ethics. Really? According to this news, to the Daily Mail, it says, Angela Rayner is fighting for a political life today with ethics probe in her tax affairs, set to conclude within days, as it emerged that she used some of her disabled son NHS compensation to pay for her second home. That's even worse. You use a disabled... I don't want to get into that because YouTube might like think I'm like discriminating and stuff. No, of course I am not. I'm just looking at this point. The fact that she's been able to dodge the scrutiny as much as possible by using her son and be like just throwing on him, then people feel bad for talking about that because of course it's a disabled son. You don't want to be too cruel. So she's basic. I don't know. These guys are actually smart, to be fair. They mess up, then they're like, oh, it's my son. I needed a second house, so when my husband is chilling with him, I can be in Hove, spending time doing whatever I'm doing. Although I have another house in London, but I just like the one in Hove. You know, £800,000. I mean, can't do you bad, can it? For a Mancunian girl, of course. I mean, it can't do you bad. And with the public, and this is the sad thing about politics, because things like this emerge all the time. Where the last one, where we had Rachel, our exchequer, crying in the parliaments, and everybody thought, oh, it's over for her. You know, it's done. It's done. She's gonna be out. But guess what? 2-3 days later, the public forgot, and we all moved on. And guess what? I think the next 2-3 days, we're all gonna move on. So, yeah. I don't know. Obviously I don't want to move on. I don't know if you want to move on, but I'm not planning to move on. I want her sacked. If she's talking about integrity, yes, keep that. Let's talk about integrity. Resign. Yes, please resign. Now, of course, the media want her gone as well. As you can see, there's a lot of media out there. We got the Daily Express, we got the Daily Mail, we got the Star Stacks, and we got the Guardians, we got the the Daily Egg. I can't really see that properly, but we got the Independent, and they want her gone. So yeah, you can tell the media wants her done. But can Keir Starmer have the courage to fire her? I mean, he was asked in Parliament if he will fire her, and this is what he said. Yeah, they love defending each other, right? They really do. It's like a little bubble where everybody's looking out for each other. Even the Tories as well, they all look out for each other. Somebody mess up, the big guy at the top is like, yo guys, you guys are family, look out for each other, everybody else is a traitor. Yes, forget the 68+ million of people, population, oh, you guys should be together, always defend each other. You know, just like in the Bible, you should be your brother's keeper. You don't want to be Cable and Cain. So they're like, hey, you should be your brother's keeper. Yeah. You should know where they are. You should know what sort of dodgy stuff they're doing. So then you can properly keep it closely guarded and just defend them by all means necessary. And this is what Keir Starmer is doing. He knows she has to go. The media knows she has to go. But guess what? He's defending. He's being his brother's keeper. Maybe I should say his sister's keeper. But watch this.
The action that we will be taking in this area, and I will make sure that the Honourable Lady receives a response from the Home Office on the matter that she raises.
Kim Johnson.
In relation to the Deputy Prime Minister, she has explained her personal circumstances in detail. She's gone over and above in setting out the details, including Mr. Speaker, yesterday afternoon, asking a court to lift a confidentiality order in relation to her own son. I know from speaking at length to the Deputy Prime Minister just how difficult that decision was for her and her family. But she did it to ensure that all information is in the public domain. She has now referred herself to the independent adviser. That is the right thing to do.
The action that we will be taking in this...
The right thing to do is to resign. Yeah, you just resign. That's the right thing to do. But no, for them, the right things to do is to like, yeah, I spoke to my lawyers, they gave me advice, and I did it, so therefore it's the lawyer's fault. Maybe we can include my son's fault as well, because I had to buy the house because of him. Ooh, I don't want to be living in the same house with my husband, ex-husband, to take care of our son. I mean, she should just resign. She should resign, because the hypocrisy is really, really loud right now. I don't think anybody will be looking at this and be and take us serious. Because if you talk about high intent, if you want to be teaching us about integrity, I mean, if you mess up, you gotta go first. Show us by example. That's what a leader does. You mess up as a leader, you want to show an example, this is the time. You mess up, all right, punish yourself. And the only way you can punish yourself here is by resigning. By saying, hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm going to forward the platoon to somebody else because I'm not good enough for this. The goal is to keep to have a government with the highest integrity ever in Great Britain. So what we're going to do, we're going to resign. And maybe Bridget Phillipson should go as well. Maybe Yvette Cooper should go as well with the illegal migration. Keir Starmer should go as well with the censorship and all the crazy stuff that he's doing. The promise of keeping the illegal migrants out of the hotels, but somehow he sends his goons to go and defend it. He should go as well. Almost the whole thing should go. We should get a general election right now. But obviously they're not going to do that. They're going to tell you about being ethical, about following the law, about doing all these things. And, you know, if you step out the line, you're going to get heavily punished, quick, fast, even if you tweet. I mean, we got to talk about that. We're going to cover the story about the comedian who got arrested for tweets. They're telling you to, like, keep on the line. You can't come off the line. But them, they can dance around. There's not even lines for them. The line is very blurry. It's not even there. They can just do whatever they want. But God forsake, if you were to do something bad, you'll be in jail right now. Don't try it at home, folks. Don't think you can do it. Don't look at Angela Rayner and be like, all right, I'm going to do the same thing. Don't do it. They'll come at you hard, telling you about integrity, ethics, and following the rule of law and all these things. Yeah, silly. But now, that's enough from her. There's a lot of clips I want to show you, but I don't want to spend 30 plus minutes talking about Angela Rayner. She needs to go. We all know she needs to go. Keir Starmer is, of course, spineless to fire her. And Kemi Badenoch, she's too weak for actually pressing Keir Starmer on like firing her. Because when you look at this newspaper, I mean, not even just looking at the newspaper, I got the video here. Actually, should we play you the video of Kemi Badenoch? You would think that the opposition would be tough and hard, but not really. Not really. I don't think she even did much. She didn't do much. She just made a little statement and went to sit down, and Keir Starmer just run on the room. He literally controls the room, and he says whatever crap, and the opposition is like, and they go sit down. What are you doing? Say something important. All right. Okay, let's move into the news story. Before we do, I need your support. I need you to go out there, share this broadcast everywhere, send it to your parents, send it to your mom, get them to subscribe to the channel. We're heavily attacked by YouTube. They want to take us off. They want to literally kick us off this broadcast. I'm live right now. The signal could go out anytime. I don't know what they're doing. The channel is on review. So whatever I say, every single word, every single impression I make is being reviewed right now as we speak. They start reviewing this channel on the 15th, 16th August. Sorry, 26th, 25th August. And guess what? It's been how many days? Almost 2 weeks. What are they reviewing? How many videos are there? There's not that many videos. They are waiting for us to say something that they were looking for. We didn't do anything wrong. And they've been punishing us for over 9 months now. Why? What's wrong, YouTube? I mean, all I do is just report the news. Give my take on it, and that's it. But no, YouTube hates that. So guess what? They're gonna put the channel on like watch. Yeah, so they've been reviewing this channel for almost 2 weeks, and they've told us. I mean, we've had a back and forth conversation with one of their representatives. They told us that, hey, we can't. Well, these representatives, they have no power, so they can't really tell us what the big guys are looking at. What are they reviewing? It's been 9 months since the channel has been demonetized, censored, shadow banned. What else are they doing? They said, hey, we're going to review it in May. When we got demonetized, they said, hey, we're going to review in May. So 3 months of hard, unpaid work for you. But guess what? Since I love the work, I didn't stop. I just kept on posting. I just kept on posting twice, 3 times a day. Now, in May, they declined. They said, hey, this channel is bullying people, or this channel is demeaning, this channel is just the worst thing ever type of stuff. And then deny. And they said, oh, obviously we just made a decision that this channel is the worst, but guess what, you also have another chance to appeal. But you can't appeal now. You can only appeal in August 25th and 26th. And we was like, okay, cool, another 3 months of hard labor with no reward at all. And I was thinking, okay, perfect. I love doing what I'm doing. I've done this for free. I've been doing this for free. So guess what? The day that we'll monetize, it was just a little bit of a reward for what we're doing. So guess what? I'm just kind of carry on doing. I'm gonna carry on doing what I've been doing. So we grew the channel, hard work, free labor, still. Not that I hate it. I love doing this. I'm doing this for free right now. They could kick my door down right now, but I'm doing this for free right now. I do it for passion. I love it. Now it's time to review. It's been 2 weeks and they're taking so long. I mean, what are you reviewing? What is it that you guys want? Are you guys watching this channel? Are you watching the live stream right now, YouTube? Because I would like to ask you to speed it up. The kids are crying. They're hungry. The lights will go off. Monetize this channel. Uncensor us so we can get even advertisers. Because then the videos can get views. Take your thumb off my broadcast. Remove your knee off my neck. Respectfully and metaphorically, of course. So, we really do need your help. Share this broadcast everywhere. Share this broadcast everywhere. We need your word of mouth. That travel faster is the best marketing ever exist. Word of mouth. If you're in church, you got 20 people in your church. Yeah, that's 20 extra viewers, 20 extra patriots, 20 extra arm of God watching over us. So share it to them. You got 3 friends. Great. Send them this channel. We need your strong word of mouth. Send it everywhere that you have. Put in a group chat. Just put in a group chat. I'm sure some people will click the link and they'll discover the channel and be like, wait, I love this, Sarah. I mean, you've been keeping this away from me this whole time. So share it, please. And now let's move to another story. Before we do, if you want to support us, if you want to donate, the first link, the link is pinned at the very top. So if you want to, you can do that. Now, let's move to the next story. Nigel Farage has compared the UK to North Korea. Yes, literally, to North Korea. Maybe we should say the United Kingdom of China. North Korea, the full name of North Korea is called Democratic People of North Korea. Democratic People. Really? That's the full name. So they've compared us. Yeah, some guy just said this channel should have been on 500k. I know. The way we were growing. I mean, I don't like talking about this channel. I don't want to talk about should, could, what would have been. But, I don't want to be unburdened by what has been. Kamala Harris. Sorry. Yeah, this channel would have probably been on like 500,000 or 200k. The way we were growing in January, December, man, we were growing on like 20k a month subscribers, new subscribers. Like 2 months and we got here and where we are here. And ever since then, we just been going down. We're losing like 100 subscribers a week now. Looking at the numbers, we're losing a lot of subscribers now. I don't know. Obviously, we know why that is happening, but yeah, this channel should have been far from where it is right now. But hey, that's YouTube's thing. We're gonna let them do the thing. Hopefully, they can resist on they can stop themselves from taking us down. I like talking to you guys, so it's cool. Now, let's talk about Nigel Farage. He's compared the UK to North Korea, and that's a big problem, folks. I mean, that is huge. You know how North Korea really work? Damn, that's a huge problem. I mean, we should all be alarmed at this, because what? North Korea is a crazy country. Of course, there's a lot of things that we don't know, and there's a lot of things that has been pushed by the media that we might not be able to verify. But we all know one thing for sure: they do not have freedom of speech. They do not have freedom of movement. If you look at North Korea, when you zoom in, when you go into the map and you zoom into North Korea, almost they have these things where they got all these fake statues around where people go and like literally worship the leader of the country, Kim Jong-un. Like the workers are like, they have no say where they go to work. You know, here where we have the freedom where kids can wake up and be like, oh, my dream is to be a footballer, or my dream is to be an astronaut, my dream is to be a YouTuber, sensation, and be out there with the KSI and be out there with all these big guys. We have that freedom here where you can pursue what you want, right? But in North Korea, they don't have that. You wake up, let's say you're 45 years old, and the government will be like, all right, you are one of the lowest guys, so we're going to promote you, and we're going to give you a house on the north side of the country. You're going to be working in this mine, wherever that needs to be done. And you can't say, no, I resist. Because you have nothing. You have to go. That's North Korea's like. And their country's all fortified with big fence where you can't escape. It's not like you can run somewhere. It's not like you're going to dig and like come out to South Korea. No. They're fully fortified, fence, heavy. You can't go nowhere. That's North Korea. And that's what Nigel Farage has compared us. So you can tell we are really, really bad. And this guy probably has some inside information of how bad it really is that the media don't report. So if Nigel Farage is saying he's comparing it to North Korea, that's a big problem. I want to show you the his full speech on this. At what point we became North Korea, it's alarming to everybody. So watch this carefully.
I'm delighted to reacquaint with the charming Mr. Raskin. Delightful testimony you gave me earlier on with your speech. But hey, that's fine. You can say what you like. I don't care. Because that's what free speech is. And in a sense, this has all been going wrong now for a couple of decades. We've kind of forgotten the Voltairean principles that we'll fight and defend to the death your right to say something that we fundamentally disagree with. That is the absolute foundation, if you think about it, of free speech, of democracy, of living in freedom. It's kind of why we fought 2 world wars at massive, massive cost to defend that very principle for ourselves and for many, many others around the country. And I first became worried about all this with cancel culture. You know, the idea that we can't have this speaker go to a university because some people might be offended by what he or she have to say. It is important to note that there is not a parent in the United Kingdom, and I would guess it's the same for America too, that is not concerned about content their children as minors can find on the internet. Not a single parent that is not concerned about this. But at the moment, we're not finding the right solutions. I do myself begin to think that hardware might be one of the solutions. That laptops, that handsets could be programmed so that many, many apps and many, many services simply aren't available from these devices. But what we've done is to go down the legislative route. And it's extraordinary that, you know, I come from the land of Magna Carta, I come from the land that gave us the mother of parliaments, and it doesn't give me any great joy to be sitting in America and describing the really awful authoritarian situation that we have now sunk into. J.D. Vance did us all a service at the Munich Security Conference back in February this year. He really got this debate up and running, and it's a vital one. We've run on since then. The Online Safety Act was put in place by the last Conservative government. I don't doubt for a minute they're good intentions, but sometimes the road to hell is paved with those good intentions. And we are now where we are. We have a couple of very famous cases. We, of course, have Lucy Connolly, who put out an intemperate tweet after the savage murder of those 3 beautiful young girls, she herself, a mother who had lost a child. It was intemperate, it was wrong, but she removed it 3.5 hours later, sentenced to 31 months in prison. She's now out. having served 40% of the time. I wanted to bring her with me today as living proof of what can go wrong. Sadly, the restrictions that have been put on her banned her from making the trip, which is a very, very great shame. And we, of course, have the extraordinary events that we understood yesterday of Graham Linehan, the comedic writer, and he put out some tweets months ago when he was in Arizona, and months later he arrives at Heathrow Airport to be met by 5 armed police. Armed police, not a big deal in the USA, a very big deal in the United Kingdom. 5 of them. And he was arrested and taken away for questioning. He's not even a British citizen. He's an Irish citizen. This could happen to any American man or woman that goes to Heathrow, that has said things online, that the British government and British... It is a potentially big threat to tech bosses, to many, many others. This legislation we've got will damage trade between our countries, threaten free speech across the West because of the knock-on, rolled-out effects of this legislation from us or from the European Union. So I've come today as well to be a klaxon, to say to you, don't allow, piece by piece, this to happen here in America. And you would be doing us and yourselves and all freedom-loving people a favour if your politicians and your businesses said to the British government, you've simply got this wrong. At what point did we become North Korea? Well, I think the Irish comedy writer found that out 2 days ago at Heathrow Airport. This is a genuinely worrying, concerning and shocking situation, and I thank you for the opportunity to come here today.
Thank you, Mr. Well said. Thank you, Mr. Farage.
I'm delighted to reacquaint with the charming Mr.
At what point did we become North Korea? That's Nigel Farage. He's comparing us to North Korea. That's how bad it is here, folks. This guy is leading to become the next prime minister, and he's comparing us to North Korea. And I'm not saying it as like a way to criticize him. I'm saying it in a way where how far we've swing, how far we are. Man, it's gonna be a heavy battle to push this rock back over the side of the rock, the hill. It's gonna be very hard to push that rock back over, because hey, North Korea, man, that's a dangerous country, man. Kim Jong-un, yeah, he looks soft and he looks like a teddy bear and stuff, respectfully, of course. He looks nice and he looks like harmless and stuff, but yo, you don't mess around with him. You don't. So if we are like his country, then hey, Keir Starmer has been following his masters very well, because I'm sure all this is intentionally. I'm not saying we're here because of incompetent or mismanagement type of situations. No, we're here because they want us to be here. We're here because they push this legislation to get us here, where you can tweet and you'll be met with hundreds of police to put you in jail. If you were to say anything about trans, if you were to say anything about anything, illegal migrant or anything, protest, whatever, they will meet you at the airport, even when you're going out or when you're coming in. And it doesn't matter where you tweet it. If you're in the United States and you're trying to embrace and express and use the First Amendment right, and you want to use that and be happy with it and just tweet and be like, yeah, my tweets are protected by the First Amendment. No, when you come to the United Kingdom, we meet you over here with Starmer Amendment, where we just jail you straight away. And of course, the comedian is fighting back. He's out there, going out there and fighting back. So I want to see how that will unfold. But yeah, that's where we are now, where we are being compared to North Korea. Yeah, that's a big problem, folks. It is. Now, I also want to cover this other story where It's same story with Nigel. He was out there in United States, telling them how bad it is over here, how they should try to not close their eyes and not forget us, how they should make sure they don't get to where we are today, to keep the First Amendment active and live, to keep the free speech and let that go on and be free and let the people can just have their freedom. So he was doing that. But the left over there were not really happy with it. No, they weren't happy with it. They were like, no, we're not happy with you here telling us how bad Keir Starmer is doing. No, we think Keir Starmer is doing very well. That's what they said. They said, one of the members in Congress said Keir Starmer is doing very well. That Trump is the one doing the worst. Trump is the one suppressing freedom. And Keir Starmer is like embracing it and and giving it to everybody. That's what they said. Yeah, that's a problem within itself. It's like they forgot us already. It's like they're not seeing what's going on here. I want to show you this clip, cut 6, on how they try to basically shut Nigel Farage off and be like, you're lying. Even though they know and they see what's going on. But they're like, hey, you're lying. What? Really? And of course, I'm not surprised because these are the people who are voting for the socialist. What is it? Mandani. I mean, I'm not surprised, but watch this clip.
There is a free speech crisis in America today, but there's no free speech crisis in Britain. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has not shut down GB News, where Mr. Farage has his own show, just because Mr. Farage has used his airtime to call for banning peaceful protests that he disagrees with. No one has stopped him from going on Russian TV 17 times and saying also and repeating that the one world political leader he most admired was Vladimir Putin, even though Vladimir Putin is a war criminal and a dictator who has regularly interfered in other countries' democratic elections. No one has stopped Mr. Farage from parroting Putin's absurd talking points, like when Farage claimed that NATO, the US and Britain, provoked this war in Ukraine. For a man who fashions himself as some kind of a free speech martyr, Mr. Farage seems most at home with the autocrats and dictators of the world who are crushing freedom on earth. Mr. Farage wants to get rid of the Online Safety Act in his country, a law shepherded by the Conservative Party and implemented by the Labour Party, which bans child pornography online, protects children from harmful content, forbids non-consensual pornography and other unlawful content. He should go and advance the positions he's taking here in Congress today in Parliament, which is meeting today, if he's serious about it. To the people of UK who think this Putin-loving free speech imposter and Trump sycophant will protect freedom in your country, come on over to America and see what Trump and MAGA are doing to destroy our freedom, kidnap college students off the street, ban books from our libraries, militarize our police and unleash them against our communities, take over our universities, wreck our professional civil service, and turn the government into a money-making machine for Trump and his family. You might think twice before you let Mr. Farage make Britain great again. I yield back. There is a free speech crisis in America.
You'd think that's a joke, right? You'd think that's like a parody. Some guy grabbed the mic and just said random stuff on it to be maybe a protester walked in who hates Nigel Farage. No, that's one of the congressmen saying that locking people up for tweets is good. That Keir Starmer has restored freedom of speech here. That the the Child Safety Act is good, and to control what you post online is good, and that Putin is the worst enemy ever. Like, we didn't send Boris Johnson to go and jeopardize the deals. Of course, I don't want nobody dying in Ukraine. I think the whole thing is stupid. The fact that it's still going on. I'm not stupid that we're losing lives, but I think the whole war itself was avoidable if the United States kept their promise of not going far away east, that we would not be here. And if United Kingdom stayed away, the war would not exist. Zelensky will be dancing around with his cock out, and we'll have no problem. Everybody will be happy. We'll be traveling to Ukraine and having fun, and there'll be no war. But of course, as everybody who do their research without being pro-West, we poke to the bear. But yeah, so he's saying, hey, war is good, Niger is bad, Britain has freedom of speech, Trump is bad, there's no freedom in America, but there's freedom in the United Kingdom. That's what he's saying. While there's people fighting for their lives, being picked up at the airport for tweets that they made while they were outside the country, who are also now have to pay all these legal fees because he's fighting them now. That's what we are today. But the Americans, some of Americans are like, no, freedom is in the United Kingdom and freedom is not in America. Really? What are you seeing? Who are you listening to? Which news outlet are you turning up to? Are you turning in? Because that's not what's going on in the UK. But yeah. So that's what the Americans, the lefties in Americans, they don't want to understand what's going on here. They just want to silence every single person who says who tells the truth. They're like, hey, no, that's not happening. Really? You've never been. It's not affecting you. It is happening. It's going on. I can show you right now. Somebody's fighting for their life. Well, not life, but somebody's fighting. Well, basically, they're fighting for their life to not go to jail. Yes, they're in court today. And that was fast as well. Wow. Of course, there's always fast to put you in court. As soon as you break the rule online by sending a tweet, they'll put you in jail straight away. But hey, if you call for somebody to call somebody else's throat, like Ricky Jones, no, your court appearance expands over a year. Because Ricky Jones committed that, said the cut people's throat last year, I think in June, July. And he did not appear in court until, we didn't get the verdict until a whole year later. That's on the left. That's how they treat each other. It's like everybody's just defending each other. And that's what we are today. Yeah, some of the Americans are making it worse. I believe. I think the trip to United States, I think the trip of Nigel going to the United States was good. Now there's a lot of people talking about it. Millions of people know about it in America now. And Trump has also, started talking about it now. So that is good. So soon, they're going to probably put some pressure on Starmer to get back to where we're meant to be. But we'll wait until that. But I want to also cover this other story. Oh, this story is just, talk about jealousy. Talk about talk about you left me out. Talk about you are getting more attention than me. This is what K. Starmer is on right now. He's so jealous. He's so desperate. He's looking for anything I can grab on that will give him a little bit of popularity in the UK. He's looking for something to grab on to keep his ship from sinking. Oh, yeah. So I want to show you this picture. This, I believe you can see who that is. Yeah, that's Donald Trump. And I think you probably recognize the guy standing next to him. Yeah, that's Nigel Farage. That's right. While he was in the Oval Office, right, talking to United States President Trump, he's what this guy Starmer was talking about in Parliament. Because obviously he was not invited, of course. So he had something to say. This is what he was saying. So desperate. So attention grabbing. I mean, it's just so sad. I feel so bad for him. Listen to this.
Honourable Member for Clacton is not here representing his constituencies in the House that he was elected to. No, he's flown to America to badmouth and talk down our country. And worse than that, Mr. Speaker, if you can believe it, he's gone there to lobby the Americans to impose sanctions on this country which will harm working people. You cannot get more unpatriotic than that. Honourable Member for Clacton is not here representing
apparently you can't get more unpatriotic to go to the United States to talk about how bad Britain really is today. If you were to do that, you are unpatriotic as hell, according to, of course, your favorite Prime Minister, or maybe I should say the worst Prime Minister we're seeing right now, Keir Starmer. That's what he thinks. If he was to do that, you are unpatriotic. And guess what? You'd think some people with a brain would be like, I don't know, Keir Starmer, what are you saying? No! There's a lot of people in the cabinet ministers who are out there echoing the same thing now. I want to show you the video, but before I do, I want to also show you how Nigel Farage responded, because I think that is important for me to show you that. So here's Nigel Farage responding to what Keir Starmer called him, unpatriotic. So this is Nigel.
Earlier in the Commons, you were called unpatriotic by the Prime Minister for being here. He said you're encouraging Donald Trump to impose tariffs on the UK unless they drop the Online Safety Act.
This Prime Minister is so desperate now, he's so on the run, that he resorted just to outright lies. Outright lies. The idea that I've suggested we should be punished with tariffs, I've never said anything of that kind whatsoever. What I'm saying is the opposite. What I'm saying to Americans is, please have a chat with the British government. Say this is not going to work the way it currently is, and for the betterment of both of us, let's rethink the legislation.
But you're not in Parliament, it's PMQs, you're Reform's leader, why?
So what? What can I do there? I sit in Parliament, I get abused by everybody, I get to answer once every 2 or 3 months. I don't think that should be a priority over talking here to American legislators and American companies who matter a lot to our country.
What would you... Earlier in the Commons, you were called...
Yeah, that's Nigel responding, calling him desperate Prime Minister. I believe so. And when he has a speaking point, he jump on it straight away. And he was so excited to call Nigel unpatriotic because he knew that was going to land and he was going to get attention on that. And guess what? We are talking about it right now. Here's the attention for you, Keir Starmer. Have it. Enjoy it. It's probably going to last a couple hours until your government mess up again. And then you're sinking again. And until somebody in your cabinet ministers mess up again. And then you have to defend him. Because it's like the whole cabinet ministers and every single Labour Party just messing up, including the Prime Minister himself. I really wish we had better opposition. And I mean any party that will challenge and balance the pressure in the parliaments. Because I also feel like when Keir Starmer turns up to question times, I don't see sort of like nervousness in him. I feel like he's loving it. I feel like he has this sort of feeling. Well, he shows this character that nobody's challenging him. And he can do and say what he wants. And of course, I think the country deserves great opposition. Doesn't matter who's in power, there should always be a good opposition to make sure that the other side is not just doing what they want. Of course, obviously, Labour has a majority right now. Whatever law they want to push, they can just push it and get in. But still, Kemi Badenoch, I don't know about her. At the start, I thought she was going to give it. She's going to be, she's going to give fire. But I'm not sure. I don't know. Nigel Farage, he doesn't turn up. Robert Jenrick, he doesn't have that much chance to speak that much. But I think he's doing well online. Rupert Lowe, he's doing well online, but obviously he's not doing well on TV. Like, he doesn't go out there and get that much questions. Yeah. Maybe that's why Nigel didn't turn up, because he knows it's pointless. You have to win the masses who are online. And I think that's why he's doing. But of course, Rupert Lowe has basically destroyed him on that side, because Rupert Lowe, he gets like 1 million views or impression under an hour. And that is huge. That's hundreds of thousands of millions of people in Britain listening and seeing Rupert Lowe's tweets. And I think he's just smashing on that end. So you gotta give it to him. So now, I did say that everybody's echoing the same thing now. Keir Starmer calls him unpatriotic, and guess who jumped on the same wavelength? Yeah, you'd think somebody will have their brain with them and be like, I don't want to echo that. Here's Bridge Phillipson saying exactly the same thing, that Niger is unpatriotic. I mean, this is the... These guys are so silly, bro. Alright, listen to this before we talk about Bridget Phillison's mess up as well.
So free speech is a cornerstone of our democracy. It's critical for our country. I've taken steps to strengthen free speech in universities because I think it's important that everyone's exposed to ideas that they might find challenging, that we can really test all of that. Of course, there are limitations of free speech within our country, and there are lines that can't be crossed. But yes, it's an important cornerstone of our democracy that we have the right to speak freely, express ourselves. But I do find it a bit troubling that, Nigel Farage has made that trip over to the US really just to badmouth our country. I mean, I think that's a fundamentally unpatriotic thing for him to be doing. I'm really proud of our country. I think we've got so much that we can celebrate. Rather than going to the US and celebrating our country, he's gone to the US and talked us down.
He's gone to the US and raised concerns because it's not just about... I mean, as you say, there are lines that can't be crossed. We understand that in legal terms, but it's whether those lines are in the right place, and it's whether, if someone crosses them by a simple tweet, whether, ending up in prison, as Lucy Connolly did, is the right sanction. I mean, there are a lot of concerns here. A lot of people in the country just aren't happy.
I mean, what we've been clear about, and what the Home Secretary has been clear about too, is that we know that what people want to see, where people want to see a focus, is on knife crime, is on violent crime, is on safety on our streets. That's what the police should be focusing their efforts on. As you say, there is a live case that's underway, so I can't comment on that. But the other case that you just referenced there, that was an individual who did, after all, plead guilty to a criminal offence. So I think there is a different situation that we're talking about in that case, and free speech is important. Of course it is, but there are limitations, and we have to act responsibly in how we conduct ourselves. We have another cornerstone of our system is that we have an independent judiciary. We have the police that should act free of influence from politicians. And, we have a courts process that makes these kinds of determinations. That's important as well as free speech.
Wow. There's a lot to unpack there. First of all, she called Nigel Farage unpatriotic to go and highlight that Britain is in trouble. Freedom of speech is gone. Freedom of movement is gone. You can be arrested for tweets. It doesn't matter where you tweet it from. So Nigel Farage went to the United States to say that to those guys. Hey, look, we need your help. Don't turn your eyes on us. Don't turn off your eyes on us. Don't forget us, and also don't lose this thing that we're losing right now. That's what Nigel went to do. And these guys are saying, hey, Nigel, you're unpatriotic for you to go and tell them that. Really? This is the same lady, by the way, where if you turn up to school, this is the education minister, by the way. If you turn up to school in a Union Jack, you can be sent back home. This is the same person who's calling Nigel Farage unpatriotic. And she claimed that police and the judges and the judicial system that is far away from the government. Really? Oh, okay. All right. Maybe that's why we have grooming gang, no? That's why we have those guys protected and stuff. All right. Maybe that's why none of those guys have been persecuted. None of these police officers who also had who also joined in on the grooming gang. Maybe that's why they're not prosecuted, because the judges and the government is separate. Isn't that right, Bridget Phillip? Is that what you're claiming? Man, the police as well. She said the police are separate from the government. Okay, all right. Okay, maybe in your world, but not really over here, because when the police, the way they do their stuff, when they know that you are the way they treat you, when they know that you are on the other side of the aisle in this political spectrum, the way they treat you in the protest, the way they handle this side and the way they handle this other side, you can tell it's political, man. Who is claiming it's not? It's a problem. So she's claiming all this, that Nigel Farage is unpatriotic, and she's giving all these claims, and she's giving us all these examples why her government is all the best and patriotic type of government, and why they also think the public is asleep. They think everybody is like a zombie where we're not paying attention, and if you do, we forget straight away what we hear. Not here. I'm going to live stream it. I'm going to broadcast it. I'm going to call you out. I'll do that all the time. I will, Bridget Phillip, and Keir Starmer as well. These guys are so desperate, as what Nigel Farage just said. They are so desperate. Now, we've been going for 1 hour and 18 minutes being live. I mean, that is pretty cool for a first time return. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it now, but we've done. Maybe I just talk a lot, I guess. But I'm rusty, as you can probably tell. We'll get better soon. We'll get smooth again. You know, I gotta get used to these keys and these cuts and make it nice, so I can click buttons and just bring up videos. But before we go, I want to talk about a little country in Europe, just a little tiny country, far away from here. You probably don't even hear about those guys. Those guys are not really out. They're not in the media as much. You know, they are oppressed. Their government do what they want, however they want, whenever they want, and the local people have like basically nobody to rally behind, and there's one guy who is in entertainment, was in the entertainment business. Now he has quit that to be that guy, to be that person where this tiny little island where his people can rely on and support and back him. And this country that I'm talking about goes by the name of Ireland. Yes, I'm talking about Ireland today. Let's do it. There's one guy. He's out there pushing, challenging the elites head on. He's going head first. He's diving deep. And the public are happy. They finally have somebody that they can rely on again. And that is beautiful to see. And this guy goes by the name of Conor McGregor. I want to show you this video. It's just announced that he's going deep, promising that as a president, him as the president, he's going to make sure the people have the power again. Not the people in Brussels. Not the EU bureaucrats. Not the technocrat machines. No. It's going to make sure the people have the power to say yes or no. You want Mohammed in? You want so many people in the country? Yes or no, people? And the people will vote. That's what he's promising. And I think that is pretty cool. I think that's what every single government should do. But we don't see that as much. I want you to watch this video. Conor McGregor, take it over.
Good morning, citizens of Ireland. I'm here today outside the office of the Taoiseach and Taoiseach, where we are over 200 days into the formation of current government. In these times, this government has cost us our peace of mind, our security, our hope for the future, and the general well-being of Irish citizens nationwide has decreased dramatically, whereby we have seen the homelessness of Irish children risen to levels unprecedented. proving this government's refusal to abide by and respect our proclamation, and where all children of Ireland are to be cherished. Instead, our children abandoned. This incompetent failure of future generations has been accompanied with an intense influx of mass migration into an already severed system. Our tourism has sharply declined, while danger on our streets has risen. Ireland, as a master of martial combat, a solution-driven man, you will hear me speak on a problem but once, then it is action towards solution. I urge all our citizens to be of the same. Today, Ireland, I am outside these gates of these appointed officials, but as your head of state, you empower me to enter these buildings on your behalf. A president face to face with government officials with only one priority: to ensure that the country our founding fathers gave their life for is strictly adhered to on behalf of its citizens. Ireland, under my tenure, the will of the people will be heard. Ireland, under my tenure, we will return important articles of our Constitution prior, and thus again aligning with Padraig Pearse's proclamation, in that we declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood. Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Yeah, that's Conor McGregor. He's the guy for Ireland now. So if you're Irish and you're out there, still in the land, because I know a lot of native Ireland are literally just flying away to Australia, to America, to all these places. So if you are still in the land, because I know a lot of you guys are leaving, this is the guy for you to decide. Make your mind up. If you're gonna get behind him, well, here it is. If you're waiting for somebody to turn up, knock knock, he's here. And if you think he's not the one for you, maybe it's your time. What are you waiting for? How old are you? 65? Yeah, that's the time. 75? Yeah, that's the prime time for politicians. 92? That's the perfect age. It's sad that almost all these old, like, when you look at Putin, like Xi Jinping, North Korea, Trump, and you see all these leaders, they're all old as hell. And you see Benjamin Netanyahu as well, they're all old. When we'll see another young, maybe 45 years old, type of Barack Obama side, meaning in the age sense, when are we going to see that? When are we going to see old people saying, all right, man, I want to retire at 60 something. No more controlling the world. And yeah, Conor McGregor is young, so you can give him a chance. I'm not riling for him, but I'm showing you, hey, he's a guy who's out there pushing for it. So yeah, cool. Now, that's the end of the story. So I'm finishing this. So let me see your chats. Let me just read some of you guys. What's happening, dude? See you back. Glad to see you back. Never give up. You're doing great work. All right. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Hello. All right. Hello. How you doing? And yeah, these chats are a bit old, so I don't know if you guys are still in the chat, but hey, I'm hearing you guys. I'm seeing your comments. Thank you so much for interacting in the broadcast. This is 1 hour and 25 minutes live. It's been a very long time. This is episode 1. We're gonna try to be, well, not try. We're back now until YouTube decides to like release their foot off our neck, metaphorically, of course. But we're gonna be here, and if they decide to take us off, they're gonna take us off while we're live. So we're here. We're not going anywhere. I mean, I thought slowing down the production would be like a way for them to like get their reviewing done. And it's been 9 months. What kind of reviewing is this? Yeah, so we're back, bro. Stop the reviewing. We're back now. We've stopped the slow tiptoeing type of videos where we post 1 time or 2 times. No, we're back. We're fully on. And if YouTube decides to reward us by removing the censorship, by removing the shadow band, great. If they keep it on, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Thank you so much. And if you want to support the channel and you feel like, man, Barak, thank you so much for doing this. I don't know what to do. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. You can donate. The link is attached, is in the description, and is attached in the comments, so you can leave any sort of donation from £1 to £2, whatever. Thank you so much for that, and thank you for all those people who have left the donation. Thank you for all the likes, comments, share. All that encourages us to keep on going. Just because you can't donate, you can't give financial help, liking the video is also another form of helping. So I love that. Commenting, it takes a lot of effort, but when you do it, it keeps the channel active. And when I read it with the team, I'm like, wow, Johnny enjoyed this video. Sick. I'm really happy. I'm glad he enjoyed it. Guess what? Next day I'm gonna wake up feeling sad. Oh, YouTube is. Then I'm gonna remember you and be like, man, I'm doing this for Johnny. Yeah, I want John to be informed. I want John to not be manipulated by these politicians. So I'm gonna tell him the truth. So please, if you can, support the channel, commenting, liking, sharing. All that is a way that keep us going. So thank you so much for today. I'm back. I wasn't gone, but meaning a lot of videos got deleted, a lot of live stream deleted, so we have to basically put this as like episode 1, but it should be like episode like 300 something, but we can't put that anymore. Thank you so much for watching, and without further ado, hand to the head salute. Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots, truth seekers, digital warriors. As you already know, this is not just a regular broadcast. This is the Operation Airways Liberation. And of course, it's on the surge. The algorithm are trying to topple us. The shadow banding our content and the gatekeeper of this narrative are doing every single thing they can to take us down. But guess what? We are still here and we are not going anywhere. I'm only 23 years old. I'm just getting started. And if you stand with us, this is your moment to strike back. Every pound that you've donated is a bullet in the chamber of truth. And every patron that you've pledged is a shield against this censorship. And every supporter, every subscriber is a soldier in this war of this information. And of course, we are building a channel that exposes and shakes the institution. We are rallying community to refuse to be gaslit. We are exposing predators. We are exposing cover-up. We are exposing the corruption. And they hate us for that. Of course, we're not funded by billionaires. We're being funded by you since the beginning. And if you want this voice to stay on air, if you want this resistance to grow louder, stronger, and unstoppable, this is your time to act. Don't wait until I'm gone. Don't wait until the live stream gets cut mid-sentence. Click the link in the description. Become the resistant. Become a sustaining member of the Baraka, the war. Fund this enigma machine that we're building that will counter narrative, destroy the bias, and expose the real nuggets to you live and direct. Because if we fall, they win. And I promised you I won't let that happen, but trust me guys, they're getting very, very close. They are getting so close. And of course, this is not charity. This is a warfare for information. This is survival. This is victory. And I need you to fund this war. Join the resistance, fuel the fight, and keep us on air. Click the first link in the description. Thank you so much.
And the show host, Baraka Amuri.
Attention, attention, attention. This is not just a normal t-shirt. This is your battle armor in this war against lies and manipulation and deception. And when you wear this t-shirt, you are not just making a statement, you are drawing a line in the sand. And you're saying, I will not be silenced, I will not be bought, and I will not be steered. Every thread in this t-shirt screams defiance. Every letter of I found the truth, not propaganda. Or maybe every letter of the nation needs to know is a rally cry out for independent thinkers, disruptors, the people who refuse to bend to the mainstream media narrative. We need your fund, and this is your chance to stand up, to speak out and fund the fight for the truth. Don't just wear it like a regular t-shirt. You have to live it. The nation needs to know you're gonna live it. Yes, please. I need you to fuel the resistance. Be the reason why the truth survive in this country. Please get yours at thebarakashow.com. And thank you so much for keeping us on air. Thank you.
In the shadow of the digital gulag, we fire up the truth cannon and blast through the lies.
And the show host, Baraka Amuri.
Attention, attention, attention.